Oh, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Aitai Chat episode 3 with the lovely Babybeard. I'm Audrey.
Aitai Chat viewers, what's going on? We are Babybeard. Allow us to introduce ourselves, please. Hi.
I'm Kotomi. I'm Suzu.
I am Ladybeard. Together we are Seno
Babybeard
desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Yes.
And then, here's my co-host Harada as well.
Hey.
And thank you guys in chat for joining our episode 3 today. We're very excited to be interviewing Babybeard, Ladybeard,
Yes.
Suzu, and Kotomi. And their
Yes.
energy is like crazy. So I hope you guys really enjoy this
Thank
interview.
you for having us. We're
No
thrilled
problem.
to be here. Thank you, Aitai Chat. Very
No
happy to be here.
problem.
Thank you, viewers. Hello, viewers. Thank you for viewing. We appreciate your presence.
Awesome. And we're going to also do a short Q&A at the end of the Aitai Chat episode 3. So if you have any questions, feel free to write it in the chat and we will get to them towards the end of the interview. And this interview will be conducted in both English and Japanese. So for Suzu and Kotomi, they will be speaking, of course, answering in Japanese, and I will translate for them. So we will be doing a bilingual interview today, and so I hope you guys are excited for that. And もし日本人の方見られてる方がいらっしゃいましたら、もし質問などございましたらお気軽にチャットで書いてください。インタビューの最後に回答させていただきますので、はい、よろしくお願いいたします。さて、原田からはいお願いします。
Yep. So let's just jump right into it. So first question, so what inspired you to become Ladybeard?
Oh, guys, well, first things first, thank you very much for having us on Aitai Chat today, guys. We're thrilled to be here. 今日、すごい嬉しいですね。Aitai Chat で出ますね。皆さん、見てくれてありがとうございます。Thank you all for paying attention. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to put the things in the chat. I've just started doing a whole thing, haven't I? Sorry, what was the question? I totally changed the topic.
No. So what inspired you to become Ladybeard?
Okay, so I for those of you who don't know me, my name's Ladybeard. I am originally from Australia, but I now live in Japan, where I am a cross-dressing pro wrestler and heavy metal singer. So, but here's what happened. When I was 14 years old, I wore my big sister's school dress to a friend's birthday party, and it was hilarious. And I became a casual cross-dresser. And then when I became a pro wrestler, I needed a ring gimmick to go into the ring with. And I said, I'm going to wear a dress and be called Ladybeard. And so I did that. And overnight, they used to live in Hong Kong, where that happened. I became the most popular wrestler in Hong Kong. And then when I started my music career, I said it's also going to be Ladybeard's music career. So Ladybeard will be a singing wrestler. And the two worlds will interlock and intermingle, similar to I'm trying to think of a good example. I was trying to think of a pomegranate and the skin of a pomegranate, but I don't think pomegranates have skin. So that example didn't make any sense at all. But that's what happened. So now I'm a cross-dressing pro wrestler and heavy metal singer. This is my brand new group, Babybeard. They are babies. I am Ladybeard. Together we are Babybeard. They sing, I scream, we all dance. It's a thing of beauty.
Wow, awesome. That is definitely a huge background in music and in like cosplay and so it's awesome. It's such an honor to be interviewing you guys.
My honor is not you guys. You guys are superstars. 二人は本当にすごいですね。
とんでもないです。とんでもないです。じゃあ次はコトミとすずさんの質問で、音楽に興味を、持ったきっかけは何でしょうか？
はい。私は小学校の時からよくお母ちゃんと一緒にカラオケに行ってて、その影響でもうすごい歌うのが大好きになって、今も歌うのが大好きです。
Oh, so for Kotomi, when she was in elementary school, she used to go to karaoke a lot with her mom, and so since then she has been really liking singing, and that's why she's interested in music.
お母さんのカラオケはうまいですか？
めっちゃうまい。
本当に？おお。
Her mom is very good at singing.
バンドの歌とかよく歌って。
おお。
Wow, that's
What?
that's very impressive.
Wow, her mum sings the songs from Evangelion with great gusto, it seems. すごいね。This is 初めて聞いた. I did not know about this history of karaoke with mum. 皆さん初めて聞いたね。知らなかったね。すごい。ね、す
That's
ごい。
awesome. ではすずさんの方は何
はい、
でしょうか。
私は幼少期から結構ずっと家で音楽がかかってたような家だったので、気づいた頃にはもう音楽に触れてたっていう感じで、ずっと音楽が好きに。
So yeah, so for Suzu, she has also been she likes singing since she was young, and because of that, because she's been singing since she was very very young, she's very familiar with music. So it was just pretty much like natural for her to go into the music industry.
So let me explain what happened for the uninitiated. I came to Japan in 2014 to pursue my music and wrestling career in Japan. And I started doing my music and wrestling career and doing cosplay stuff and so forth in Japan. I went somewhat viral on the internets. And then what happened was I got put in a different group, which looked similar to this. It was me and two young girls. And we had a song on the internets, which was called Nippon Manju. And that video was seen many, many times. I think it's currently on 32 million. So that was popping. We were the hottest thing in the world in 2015. Then partway through 2016, due to a series of reasons we won't discuss, my time in that group was brought to a very abrupt and unfortunate end. So since that happened, I've done a bunch of other things, and I'm very happy with what I've done since then. But I've traveled all over the world performing at conventions and so forth, and I've continually been asked, I've been told, we really liked that project. We really want you to do that again. That was fantastic. Do that again. That song was wonderful. That video was wonderful. That formation was great. So what happened was we said, well, look, if the people want it, then it must be done. So we actually changed management companies in 2019, and we said we want to do this group, and we put things together, and we were ready to get underway at the start of 2020, but we all know what happened then.
Yeah.
That's why we're here getting things underway now. That actually what happened was we held an audition for the other members of the group, and it was a worldwide audition. So people were submitting themselves from literally the whole world, from the UK and Malaysia and Australia and all over the place, right? We had a series of audition stages we went through. So we went through like a virtual audition first, then we went through several rounds of physical audition. Suzu was actually the very first person who came through the door in the physical audition. She came in. She's a little ray of sunshine. So she lit the door. Fantastic. Interestingly, Kotomi was actually the very last person to come through the door in the audition. This very first candidate, very last candidate. So she came in, wondrous little singer, due to her mum's help. Wondrous little singer, little dancer, also very adorable. So these two are the ones that finally made the cut. And now here we are, Babybeard. It's on, Donkey Kong.
That's awesome.
There we go. So yeah, you have actually for Ladybeard, so you have a very interesting stage persona, or at least for wrestling, it's that of a 5-year-old girl incarnated in a man's muscular body. So what inspired that?
Oh, listen. Look, here's what happened. Okay, well, regarding the whole little girl in a man's body thing, I realized a long time ago that the magic of this character really came from, and the performance and everything really came from the juxtaposition of trying to make myself intrinsically as masculine seeming as I can, whilst presenting as feminine as I can. And of course, that yin and yang that comes together to create a thing of beauty. Yeah, 5-year-old girl, when I got to this country, I wasn't very good at the language. And sort of sounded like a child. So it was because clearly as I was a 5-year-old girl, but clearly you can see now I've grown up, I've matured. I am now an adult in the real world, a young adult skipping through the dandelions. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I've gone off on some bizarre tangent. I'm a man who has a beard and wears a dress and screams and dances and wrestles.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I like how now I'm confused by my own description of myself. It was this, but then it was that, and now it's not this, but hey, tomorrow it's that. It's all over the place. Ladybeard doesn't know what's going on. Ladybeard just woke up here. He's like, what's going on? What am I wearing? Oh, no.
Which one is your favorite? Like, which one is your, the persona that you like the most?
It's wild. Hey, Ladybeard is all things at all times. There can be no one favorite. The whole thing works together. I'm sorry, Kotomi. We're talking about all kinds of weirdness. Hey, listen. Hey, let's move on. Next question.
Okay, so just now you mentioned like about COVID and how you started BABYBEARD amidst the COVID pandemic. So I guess this can be a question for Ladybeard and Suzu and Kotomi. But so many of your performances and interactions were through online services such as what we're doing right now. And how does it feel like interacting with people solely online only and also outside of Japan? So 新型コロナウイルスの影響で、オンラインでの、活動が、主となっている状態ですが、これまでのところ海外の人と、交流についてはどう感じますでしょうか？
さあ、2人、what do you want to show? And I gotta tell you, the girls are actually extremely impressive because they auditioned to be in an idol group, which, singing and dancing intrinsically. And thus far, we've been totally restricted in what we've been able to do in terms of actual singing and dancing. And they've been mainly sitting in an office in front of a computer. So I'm actually very impressed with both of them because they've approached the whole thing, very professionally. I'll let the girls answer themselves. Kotomi dozo.
私はインスタグラムの質問箱みたいなのをよくやるんですけど、あれによく海外の人からすごいメッセージが届いて、そこで、わあ、すごいってよくなってるんですけど、これからももっとなんかオンラインコンサートだったり、オンラインライブだったり、オンラインファンピーティングだったり、いろいろしてみたいなっていう気持ちがあります。
Awesome. So for Kotomi, yeah, she interacts with fans a lot on Instagram, and she has like those chat boxes where you can send in messages to them to her, and when she sees that, she's like, oh wow, that's awesome. Oh, sorry, my camera froze for a bit, but it's all right, no worries. But anyway, and then so when she gets those messages, she feels like very, very happy, and she's excited to eventually do more online lives and meet and greet events as well with fans all around the world.
Actually, it's very interesting. This is this group, and what we're doing at the moment through the internet waves is actually Kotomi's first proper interaction with the world outside Japan. Kotomiは海外に全然行ったことない。
そう、行ったことない、一回も。
Not been overseas at all. So, もうピアちゃんの前にたくさん外国人とコミュニケーションありましたか？
でも行ってた学校がすごい海外の人もいたり。
なるほど。
ちょっとだけ。でも英語圏の人とはあまり話したことがない。
So Kotomi has not really dealt with the non-Japanese a whole lot in her whole life up until this point. So I've got to tell you, I'm very impressed with both of them because they have taken this whole, you're an idol, but it's only online for a while, and so here's a whole lot of singing in front of a computer, which is not at all singing and dancing, which is the thing you really signed up for, but they've really taken their stride, and they've done a great job, considering that we've been doing like promotion for the entire world, so a lot of it has been in English, and it's, it's very challenging, but I'm very impressed. I know. すずはすずお願いします。
はい、私もインターネットでしかまだ実感はないんですけども、私の投稿するような内容に多くの方々が興味を示してくれているのがとても嬉しいです。なんかこう外国からお手紙をもらってこともあって、それもとても嬉しくて、私が逆にこう皆さんに元気をもらってるなって思いました。
Awesome. So yeah, Suzu says that even though they've only done the online activity so far, she's very happy to see people from different countries interested in her various posts, online, and it's almost as if like they, like even though they are far away, it's almost like they're, you know, very close by. But when she receives fans from fan letters from overseas, it really gives her like a lot of energy and encourages her a lot. So she wants to make them happy as well.
FYI, this is actually Suzu's first idol group. So Kotomi
Ah.
was in a different idol group before this.
Mm.
And,
Okay.
but Suzu is brand new to the whole idol world. So
Wow.
it's a strange introduction to the whole thing because, like we say, we're so restricted in what we've been able to do so far.
Right. Definitely.
But she's taken her stride and she's doing a very good job. Suzu wa teddy bears.
そう、テディベアが
Suzu loves teddy bears. And I don't think she properly understands when we finally get to go overseas just how many teddy bears she's going to receive from fans. She's already received her first fan present, a teddy bear in the mail. She was thrilled. And we haven't even physically done a show yet. So
Man, that's awesome. That's
so
so
どん
That's
な
great.
テディベアどんなぬいぐるみですか？
これぐらいのサイズで、
うん。
足のところに「鈴」って書いてありました。
あ、すごいです。すごいです。So yeah, the teddy bear or the plush that she received has her name on it too. So that's awesome on the teddy bear's foot. So 可愛いです。
we got asked in a previous interview, is there Build-A-Bear in Japan? And we're like, no Build-A-Bear. So a fan made a Build-A-Bear for Suzu. God
Wow.
bless. With Suzu's name on it. It's amazing. It's amazing.
That's awesome. And then, so I guess, actually, Lady Beard, I guess, so what inspired you to get into Kawaii Metal actually from pro wrestling?
So this is interesting, actually. So here's what happened. I previously, when I lived in Hong Kong, that's where I used to live, from Australia, but I moved to Hong Kong because I was previously an actor and a stuntman and a voice actor. So we could talk about that too later on, because actually one of my previous jobs was I dubbed anime. That was
Perfect. You know,
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
right? So
we can
we
best
dubbed,
friends, even though we already are, but you know.
high five, internet high five. All right. But what happened was, so I had this really cool life in Hong Kong as an actor and a stuntman and a voice actor, and then that 2008 financial crisis came along and it wiped everything out, right? So I was in this situation when the whole reason I'd left Australia for Hong Kong was because there was really no opportunities to do what I wanted to do in Australia. And now suddenly there was no opportunities to do what I wanted to do in Hong Kong either. I was actually very upset because I was like, I'd moved overseas alone. That's not easy to do. I'd, gone through all the emotions that come along with that and leaving your family and everything, and then sorted out this life that I was really happy with. And I was like, well, I actually did it. This is amazing. And then that crisis showed up and boom, just overnight, everything was gone. So I was in Hong Kong and trying to figure out what to do. I was like, there's nothing really for me to do at home. Now there's nothing for me to do here. Well, what am I going to do? And it was then that I met one of the kids from the Hong Kong Wrestling Federation, and I started training with them, and that's when my pro wrestling career started. And I went into the dress. I went into the ring wearing a dress for my first match. I mean, this is what happened. So we're there. I start training wrestling, and not long after that, I pick up fairly quickly because of my stunts background. And then, so I'm about to do my first match, right? And the promoter's asking me, okay, so what do you want your in-ring gimmick to be, your in-ring persona? I said, I'm going to wear a dress into the ring, and I'm going to be called Ladybeard. And so at the time, in the Wrestling Federation in Hong Kong, everybody else, their gimmick was, I am a wrestler. And that was the end of it. So I went into the ring wearing a pink and black Lolita dress for my first match. And I was out of everyone else. I was the only person who had a big character, you see. So overnight, I kind of became the most popular wrestler in Hong Kong. Wow. So this had happened right after my my previous career had been totally wiped out. And I was like, okay, I guess cross-dressing pro wrestling, that's the way to go. And it was not long after that. So that brings me to your question, which is the kawaii metal. So here's what happened. I'm a metalhead from way back. I love heavy metal. And actually my favorite songs are metal covers of pop songs, because I think there's something very beautiful about metal covers of pop songs, because you hear pop songs all the time, whether you want to or not. You hear them on the radio, you hear them in stores, you hear them everywhere, right? So they kind of become part of your subconscious. And so when you hear a metal cover of a pop song, I think it takes what you're used to hearing all the time and it subverts it. So when you're used to hearing, can't read mine, no, he can't read my poker face. And then you hear, can't read mine, it can't read my poker face. To me, that's very beautiful and very, very funny. And so what happened was, when I got to Hong Kong, I started listening to Cantonese pop music to work on the language. And I was like, these are really catchy pop songs. Who's done the metal covers? Turns out no one had done the metal covers. So after I started wrestling, I was like, you know what, I really want to do this heavy metal project, singing metal covers of Cantonese pop songs, because there are these great songs to be covered and no one's done the metal cover. And so I'm like, no one else is going to do it. I'm going to do it. So when I made that decision, I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to do it as Ladybeard, and I'm going to work the music world and the wrestling world together. So then when I came to Japan, that was not long after Baby Metal had originally done their thing, and they'd started blowing up and so forth. So it's sort of like, I was worked with my previous manager, and I got to Japan, and I was like, I thought I was just going to be a kind of a theatrical heavy metal singer. I had this show singing, like I started singing metal covers of J-pop songs. And so I go on stage and I sing my metal covers of J-pop songs, and it was hilarious, but I tried to do a lot of theatrics in the show. Like I had these glow-in-the-dark nunchucks that I would spin in one of the songs. And I had this little puppet of me called Little Ladybeard, and we would sing a duet together. We sung a duet of Heavy Rotation by AKB48. We sung that together. Yeah, it was great fun, right? So I started working with my previous manager, and she's like, you're an idol. And I was like, all right. I didn't really know what that meant. I thought I was a funny heavy metal singer. She's like, no, you're an idol. And so then I was put into the idol world, and that's kind of from where the whole kawaii metal thing of doing all the idol stuff sprouted. That was a long ass answer to that story. Go man, biasa no biography no iroro dashita. Sumimasen.
No, that's awesome.
I have to sit here when all this English is going ba 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 in front of them. I feel so sorry for them. Go man.
So then you wanted to be, or your manager suggested the idol thing, not you.
Well, I mean, I came here with my show, and she's like, all right, so here's the situation. This is how the categories break down in Japan. It's like you can be a musician or an artist or an idol. And those are like the categories, right? And she's like, here's what each one of those means. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm an idol.
That's awesome.
It was an interesting thing, because I had not really had proper exposure to the Japanese idol world before I came to Japan. And then it's like, okay, so now I am an idol, and now I'm going on stage with adorable girls like this. It's like, all right. But the idol world is a whole new thing. And it's been an adventure from the moment I entered it. It's been a huge adventure.
No, that's awesome. And then, so I guess then from that, and you've kind of alluded to that a little bit already, or this question already, but like, so if I'm understanding correctly, so obviously besides just your dress, a very colorful, rich background, which I love. So obviously pursuing acting and stunt and everything like that, and voice acting, which would love to talk more about that later. But then, then going to obviously in China and wrestling, and found your groove there. But from there, and also forming the band, I'm guessing after all of that, then what led you to want to continue on from your journey and form BABYBEARD?
Well, so like I said, I came to Japan, and I was doing my music stuff in Japan, and worked with this former manager, and I'm an idol, so we're doing idol stuff. Then I got put in this previous group that made this song Nippon Manju, and it really blew up. Everyone was really loving the work. Like here in Japan, also overseas, everyone was loving that work. So when my duties in that group were unceremoniously relieved, the whole thing really, that was 5 years ago, and everyone's been like, well, that sucks. That was great. That's what we want to see. So I really was like, look, man, we gotta do that. It's been difficult, because there's a lot of moving parts involved in putting together a group like this, especially within Japanese show business. There's a lot within Japan in general. I mean, Audrey will know. Within Japan in general, there's a lot of, here's the things you must do, regardless of whether or not you want to do them. Here's the things you definitely must not do, even though you want to do them. So there's a lot of moving parts and people that have to be in the right place and all this kind of stuff. So I haven't been able to do this for 5 years, and I'm happy with all the other stuff I've done in the meantime. But finally, when the pieces came together so we could do this, I was like, let's go. Good, do it.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's awesome. So then you pretty much just like took inspiration from your previous experiences and then created BABYBEARD. Why the name BABYBEARD?
well, they're babies and I'm Ladybeard, you
I
see?
see.
So those two things together very clearly are BABYBEARD.
I see.
It's been made clear to me, you see, this is what the world wants to see from Ladybeard. Ladybeard in the middle screaming and dancing, and then the two cute girls either side singing and dancing, and it's a triangle of perfection. See, this is what we're going for. Yeah, neither of the girls has a beard at this stage, but they're both working very hard on it. 塾のヒゲに頑張りますね。
かわいいです。じゃあ、レイディビアードと、活動していてどうでしょうか？
ビアちゃんすごいいつもねテンション高いからね。とても
ですよね。
一緒にテンション高くなるからすごいね。いつも楽しい。
ありがとう。
いつもハッピーでやってます。
Yeah, so Ladybeard is always really, genki, very, very energetic, and it makes them, Kotomi and Suzu, also like really pumped up. So they're always really happy working with him.
I feel so sorry for them because she's going to end up deaf in this year and she's going to end up deaf in this year. I'm so noisy all the time. I feel so bad for them. When they're older, they'll have to do that head turn thing. They each will have to hold the head a different way. Yeah.
じゃあ、Suzuさんはどうですか？
私もこう仕事に入ってきた時からビアちゃんはもう朝から元気がいいので、見てられないなと思って私もとても元気になります。
So yeah, ever since Suzu entered the band, even like in the mornings, from the morning, Ladybeard is like super energetic, and like it makes her really energetic too. So if she sees him and she's like, she feels much better that day too.
Poor girls. I'm very glad to hear that. Arigatou gozaimasu ne, ureshi. It's when I was younger, that was not the reaction that was received from me being energetic early in the morning. It's these two phrases were constants in my life. Number one, it's too early. I received that frequently. And number two, tone it down. Just tone it down. Whatever it is, tone it down. So I'm very appreciative of the two girls not telling me to tone it down.
No, you're home, which is great. And then with that, actually, so we're talking a lot about obviously music and growing up and everything. So what were your musical influences growing up?
Ah, that's great. Let's start with the girls because I feel like we've been leaving them in silence for a long time. Can you ask the question in Japanese, please, Audrey?
好きなバンドとか音楽ジャンルとかは何でしょうか？ちょっとなんか印象的に例えば子供の頃からずっと聴いてた音楽かジャンルかなんかそんな理由は何ですか？
私はアイドルソングがすごい好きで、日本のアイドルだったりあと K-POP だったりどっちも聴くんですけど、毎回聴いてると元気が出るので、アイドルソングが大好きです。
So Kotomi loves Japanese idol music as well as like K-pop music, and she listens to them all the time. And when she listens to them, it gives her energy as well and gives her like motivation to go forward. So she loves those kind of genres a lot.
Kotomi is a bit of a dance master. Her TikTok account is a 24-hour dance-a-thon. Name a K-pop song, Kotomi has danced to it on TikTok.
すごいです。K-POP でしたらBTS とか好きでしょうか？
BTS は音楽聴いたことはあります。ガールズグループがね。そうです。ガールズグループが大好きなので。
なるほどです。最近なんでしょう。なんか私はあんまり詳しくないんですけどGirls' Generation まだ活動していますでしょうか？それは分からなくて。
休止みたいな状態。
そうなんですか。じゃあことみさんが好きなK-POP アイドルのバンドは何でしょうか？
私はミキミキさんっていう方が好きなんですよ。ファンタジオのなんていうんですか。
ミキミキ？
ミキミキ。
It's spelled Weki Meki.
Wiki Miki. Oh yeah. So Kotomi likes yeah, I just asked her what kind of K-pop bands does she like in particular. And she said that she does listen to BTS, but one band that she likes a lot is Wiki Miki.
Just quickly, the greatest name for a group ever, Weki Meki. It's fantastic. What you listen to? Weki Meki. Waddy, happy. Shabby, Weki Meki.
すごいです。じゃあ、すずさんは何でしょうか。はい。
私もちょっとポップが好きで、洋楽でしたらアリアナ・グランデさんとかだったり、あと J-POP と私も K-POP、基本的にポップをずっと聴いています。
So Suzu likes pop songs, pop music as well, and if we're talking about Western music, she really likes Ariana Grande, but she also enjoys K-pop and J-pop, just a lot of different pop songs.
This is both girls' first exposure to the wonderful world of heavy metal. So both of them, as you can see, are very adorable and sweet. And now they have entered the world of heavy metal, and I don't think they really understand what lies in store for them. 今はヘビーメタルの経験ですね。ヘビーメタルは今までどうですか？
ベビーメタルさんの曲を何回か聴いたことあるぐらいで、あんまり触れたことはなかった。初めて。
So yeah, Kotomi has listened to a lot of baby metal songs, but she hasn't actually like performed any metal before. So she's excited to do that, right? Hopefully.
すずは
私もこの仕事始めてからベビーメタルさんの曲からメタルを聴くようになったんですけど。
今メタル勉強しますか？
そう勉強。
Wow. Yeah, so for Suzu, when she got this part, she also started listening to like metal music, for example, from baby metal. But yeah, she's able to like kind of learn from it, and she's trying to study how it works.
さあ今どのバンド聞いてますか？
でもベビーメタルさん。
ベビーメタルだけ。Okay. 今はベビーメタル。
メタリカ。
メタリカ。
おお。なんか知ってる。
おお。Studying. So she started with baby metal. She's now moved to Metallica. All right, well, look, they're good places to start. I dare say they're potentially opposite ends of the spectrum in heavy metal, aren't they? So look, that's fine. Now we'll go back. We'll fill in the rest of the spectrum. Good stuff. Good girl. Thank you. Arigato. Good girl.
Yeah, it seems like so. There's a lot, obviously, excitement, especially diving into metal. So with that in mind, though, what are all of you most excited for with BABYBEARD?
ベビービアードで一番喜ぶこと。一番楽しみにしてること。
ライブをすることです。ライブよ
ね。They're very excited to do lives.
Yeah, definitely the live show, and the live show all over the world. That's the other thing. We're a global group, so one of the things that we're trying to achieve with this group, basically, BABYBEARD has two ultimate missions. First one is to try and give people as much energy and as much genkiness and as much happiness and joy as we possibly can, because especially over the past year and a half, the entire world has suffered. So we're really trying to help people kind of lift their spirits and keep on fighting through hard times. If we ever needed it, we needed it now. So we're trying to keep everybody, upbeat in that respect. And the other one is we're trying to give everybody a new level of access to Japanese pop culture. There's so much amazingness going on in Japan, especially with the pop culture stuff. But if you can't speak and read and write Japanese, it's very hard to get access to it. Even if you're here, if you don't understand the systems, you don't understand how things work, access is extremely difficult. So one of the things we're trying to do is kind of give access to the previously unaccess having folk. That wasn't English. That wasn't English at all. I'm having this problem when I'll be speaking the words from one language and the grammar from another language comes and infects it. Have you ever had that experience?
まあたまに英語はただわからなくなっちゃってそういう経験ありますね。Sometimes like just forget English.
私とオードリーさん2人は時々英語を忘れますね。なんか英語の言葉使ってでも文法は日本語の文法になります。全部はめちゃくちゃそうになるね。
なんか私の場合でしたら単語は結構忘れやすいですよね。英語の単語。 その話してる途中になんかあれなんでしょうってなります。
Audrey, you're from California? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm from Los Angeles originally.
Almost. More Los Angeles. Suzu is desperate to come to Los Angeles.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, right. I mean, まあ、そうですね。If there's a chance, definitely.
Yeah, well, exactly right. As soon as we are able to travel, Suzu はロスでライブやりたいですね。そうね。そうね。Suzu's like most wants to do a show in place. That wasn't correct English either. Do you see what's happening now? Oh my god. Suzu さんはロサンゼルスでライブやりたいですね。Kotomi はラスベガスでライブね。Both losses.
じゃあ、今特にまあ行きたい場所はまあもちろんロスとベガスなんですけど、何でしょうか。なんででしょうか。
ロサンゼルスは6年前に行ったことがあったんですけど、はい、とても楽しかったのと、あとこの前ビルボードのアワードをロサンゼルスでやってたのをちょうどテレビで見てまして、なんか現地の音楽に対する熱やそのステージの開放感にこう憧れたので、ぜひロサンゼルスでライブをしたいです。
そうですよね。So Suzu, she really wants to go to Los Angeles, and she actually went there on vacation like 6 years ago. 旅行でしたっけ？Yeah. So she went with her family 6 years ago to Los Angeles, and she really loved the area. And she recently watched the Billboard Music Festival or Music Award on TV, and she was thinking like, oh man, like it would be great to do a live there, especially at the Billboard Music Awards where they had like a huge stage, and she really wants to, be able to perform abroad, especially in some kind of stage like that. That would be amazing.
BABYBEARD Billboard Music Awards 2022. Hey, it's on. Let's go.
I'm all for it.
Let's go.
私は海外についてあまり詳しくないので、なんとなく思いついたとしよう。キラキラしてそうなラスベガスで。
キラキラでしょ。
Kotomi said, Kotomi said that she doesn't really like know much about being abroad, like what it's like abroad, but like she has an image in her head that's kind of like it's shiny, so that's why she really wants to go to Vegas.
You guys, I assume both of you have been to Vegas, yeah?
Yes.
Is it shiny or is it kind of vomit stained? And
the strip is very clean.
背景は綺麗です。光ってます。いろんな、ビールとか。キラキラしてます。
ロサンゼルスとラスベガスに行けなければならないね。As soon as travel is a part of our lives again, we're desperate to get overseas ASAP, actually.
Right.
For sure. We'll definitely, whatever state you're at, I'll definitely come by. So.
Hell yeah. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What I'm talking about. Thank you, sorry, guys. Can I ask something before we continue? Do we have a chat going on? Are there people in the chat?
Yeah, there are.
Say hi to the people in the chat. Hello, chat friends. Who's in the chat? What's going on? Press your things in the chat. Pog? That's a thing the young people do, isn't it? They put a pog in. No, pog. We got Neely Nelson. Yes. Crystal. Yes. In context.
They're all saying hi.
Suga, yes, thank you for chatting. Good to see you. Put your things in the chat. I'm bad at promoting the chat. Put your questions, your comments in the chat. Through the chat room. Dear me, I'm so old. Through the chat. Chatty chat.
For sure. Actually, for the chat, one of the things that I think some people, especially, given your rich, and I keep saying your colorful and illustrious history, but like obviously, one thing that we like to do with Aitai Chat, as you know, by seeing a few of the other episodes we always try to educate as well. So some of these other next questions might be a little bit more informative. So obviously, you all want to visit, the West, which would be great, but there's a lot of people from America that have never been to Japan and would even like to maybe start something in Japan. So for people outside of Japan, what advice would you give them for getting into wrestling, actually, for that matter? Wrestling, yeah.
Wow. So let me just tell the girls what's going on. ちょっとプロレスの説明ですね。But getting into wrestling. All right. So are we talking specifically Japanese wrestling or just wrestling in general?
Yeah, I mean, wrestling's huge in Japan. So, like, obviously you had a presence there and everything. So, any advice that you could give?
Wrestling and music, right?
And music.
Right. Okay. Well, first things. Okay. So if you want to become a wrestler, first things okay. So if you want to be a wrestler in Japan, first things first, you need to become a wrestler. So my advice is find a good wrestling gym and get in there and start training. A lot of cities will have a pro wrestling company or a pro wrestling. I'll probably have several pro wrestling federations. I advise you to go and try training with several of them and see which one you like the best and whose people you get on well with. Go and watch some of their shows as well and see what you think of the shows. And then once you're kind of comfortable with one of them, go and start training wrestling and train hard and do as your instructors tell you. And if you really want to be a wrestler, you want to start lifting weights at as young an age as possible because unless you're not yet 14. Wait till you're 14. If you're already 14, start doing your weights. If you're not yet 14, wait till you're 14 to do your weights. But you want to get on your weights when you're as young as possible because when your hormones are peaking as a young person, that's when it's easiest to build the mass and everything. So get on the weights and get to a wrestling school and start training. Then if you want to come to Japan, you sort of need to understand Japanese wrestling is it's not a different thing from Western wrestling, but it operates in a very different way. So pro wrestling, the F word gets used a lot, which is of course FAKE. And in Western wrestling, there's a lot of what people consider, fake, as opposed to real shots. You'll do things like you check your arm to make the sound of a punch and things like this, right? In Japan, they don't really want to see that. They want to see you legitimately just hit each other. No joke.
Really?
But the Japan my English is getting so bad. The Japanese do what they call strong style, which is nothing's really, there's still the performance element, but things are not really faked in the same way as they are in the Western world. It's you straight up, you hit each other. So when I started wrestling here, I came in and I was fresh from training in Australia, and I was kind of still doing things in a Western style. And every time, I'd get backstage after my matches, and first thing they'd say is, "Oh, you crazy!" But then after that, they would say, "You need to be more serious. You need to be more serious in the ring." And I was like, "I'm a bearded man wearing a bikini." What do you mean? What do you mean you want me to be more serious, right? What they meant was they want me to do strong style. They want me to legitimately hit the other person. So I'm not going to demonstrate on one of these two girls because that's going to work out badly. If I all right. So let's say I have this. Well, this is my opponent. Yeah. This is my opponent. All right. So I can punch him like this, and I can make it look like I'm punching him without actually hurting him. Yeah. Or I can legitimately punch him. That's what the Japanese want to see. So they have a series of techniques, like they have a lot of techniques organized so that you can legitimately beat the life out of each other and still be able to get up and go and do the show again tomorrow.
Wow. I did not know that.
But it's, I'm trying to, it's a very rough and rumble. It's not a very, the description I gave you is not really, I'm not going to get you to grasp it by telling it to you through a Zoom chat. You really need to work with people who get it. Because it's when you start feeling it that you understand the difference. You start to feel the difference between and, right? And that's when you really start to realize what's going on. Mm-hmm. So, what are we talking about? I've forgotten.
Oh no, just just advice like that, but also music, like even like becoming an idol and everything like that. Just obviously a lot of people are actually really loving those answers, which is great. So we already now, I've learned a lot about now wrestling just in Japan, which is actually, that's tremendous because I know my father, he loves Japanese wrestling.
Great.
Now I know, I'm like, oh no, this is actually even way more cooler. So
is your father Japanese? Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Are you half Japanese?
Yeah. My mom, Okasan, she's European, and then my otosan is Nihonjin. So
なるほど。さ、ハー
hence
フ。
Canada. Yeah.
おい、なるほど。Sorry, before we go on to music, let me make one more point about wrestling. Actually, you know what? This actually blends in with music, so we can start talking about this now. And look, for anyone who's interested in this, you guys should go back and you should watch Aitai Chat episode 2 with John, because what you guys went through in that talk was actually excellent advice. Especially if I could break the whole attitude down to one bit. When John was saying it's a business, you're doing business, and you have to understand that if there's no business, there's nothing to support all of this. So most artists of any kind don't want to think in that way. Most artists want to think about, nah, man, it's about my passion, it's about my love.
No empathy. Yep.
Yeah,
But-
right.
But if you can't wrap your head around the fact that it's not for you, it's for the audience, and you need to have all the other business skills in place to provide value to customers. If you can't get your head around that, this is going to be very, like, the whole thing, any artistic career is going to be very, very hard to get underway. You can do it as a hobby, no problem. In that case, do whatever you want and it's fine. But if you're talking about doing it as a career, you really need to start understanding business and how businesses generally work and what value delivery is and all this kind of stuff. So regarding pro wrestling, one of the biggest things I always used to get told by my trainers in Australia was, you need to know your place on the card.
Yes.
So what you're doing in your match is very different if you're the main event compared with if you're the opening match. Those are two different spots on the rundown of the night, and you want to know what you're supposed to do for the sake of the promoter who's putting on a show for the sake of this audience. That's the most important thing. It's not, nah, man, because I just learned how to do a double moonsault off the top, so I want to make sure I definitely do that.
Right.
No, it's not about you. It's about the show. Right? Now, the same kind of thing happens when you get into music. Music can probably be a bit more expressive and a bit more personal, but you need to understand that the whole thing needs to operate as a business. And if you can't do that, then you probably won't be doing your music very long because you won't be able to sustain it.
Yeah.
Let's
I
not-
mean,
I just
it
gave
is
you a
true.
real...
Yeah, I mean, like, in the end, it is a business that helps, enlighten or, entertain or educate, whatever the intended audience it is for, right? So, in the case of the idol music industry, yes, like the idols, you guys love doing what you do, but also in the end, like, it is for the fans, right? So yeah, that's a very important part.
A lot of artists don't want to accept that. They want it to be all about them. Nah, I'm the artist. Everybody give me the love and give me the attention. But you have to understand, you're there for the audience, not the other way around.
Right.
Let's ask the girls, actually. もし別の人が言う、さあ、私はアイドルになりたいです。どんなアドバイスありますか？
とりあえず挑戦。
Challenge yourself.
チャレンジ？
やればできる。
Mm.
あなたならなれるよ、そう。
So like kind of pump yourself up, just make sure, like, if you want to do it, you just do it. Just try to like challenge yourself and go out and do it.
I mean, I think I would agree with that. That's how everyone has to start. Yeah, this is another thing I found. I think people think that it will happen to them. They don't think they need to get up and go and do it. But that's wrong. You have to get up and you have to go and do it. So I kind of see a lot of artists do this. They say, you know what? I've made the decision. I'm going to follow my passion. I'm going to be an artist. Let's wait for someone to come and make me an artist. I wonder how long this will take. They don't
Right. You have to be proactive.
Yeah, you got to get up and have to go out into the world.
Right.
Actually, when I made the switch from being an actor to doing this, that was one of the things that appealed to me, actually, because if I started my own thing and then I took that to the world, that was a frame from which I had self-control, as opposed to when you're an actor and you're going to auditions, and whether or not you get a job is totally dependent on what someone else's opinion is.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you're running your own thing, you can make your product, and then you can take it to the market, and then you can see what works and see what doesn't work and all that kind of stuff. And it gives you a much stronger, gives you much more control. It gives you total control, really, doesn't it? It's only you. So Audrey, you would know that very much from running your business, yeah?
You're right. I mean, like for us, we for Aitai Kuji, we you know, like our main motivation, I suppose, is just to have people let people get access to things that make them happy. You know, like things that are from Japan. For example, like someone living in Los Angeles, like especially right now with the pandemic, they can't go to Japan to buy stuff, right? They can't go to Japan to experience those things. So what we want to do as Aitai Kuji, as Aitai Japan, is just give them an outlet that they can access these items or see these, you know, interviews, for example, what we're doing with Aitai Chat, just something that gives them as close of a, you know, to emulate like coming to Japan and buying stuff and just, you know, giving them happiness. I think that's kind of like one of, our main goal is just to be the liaison to have people be connected to Japan.
I think that's an excellent mission, young lady. I support you in that mission 100%. Let's just tell the girls what's going on. I feel so bad. We have these long spiels of serious English and さっきいろいろビジネスのことを話したね。なんかプロレスとアイドルのビジネスのことを話したね。すみません、ちょっと深かったね。ちょっと真面目。ごめん。
Yeah. But so I guess going back to the questions with you know, like wrestling and music, as a foreigner, you know, living in Japan, how did you like get into the industry? Like was there some people you knew? Was it through connections, or like what kind of advice would you give on people?
Well, I mean, I turned up already with a set of goals that I was trying to achieve. And I had kind of my supporting material already organized. So I had some video packages put together of, you know, shows that I had previously done, which was an example of what the work was. And I turned up and I used that to try and get opportunities, basically. So I took those to, both in terms of music and in terms of wrestling, I took those to the wrestling companies, and I took those to, you know, artist management and those kinds of things. This is actually one of the most interesting things about moving to another country and trying some crazy dream overseas, in that you can sit at home and you can be like, yeah, I'll go over there, and I'll do this and I'll do this, and I'll be on stage and I'll have an audience of 10,000 people, and you can visualize it and everything. And then you go and you're all excited, and you buy your plane ticket and you book a hotel or whatever, and you're like, you get all silly. And then there's the moment when you get off the plane and you're standing there in Narita with your suitcases, and you're like, now what? You know? So it comes for everyone at different times. It could come in the airport. A couple of people comes after a few weeks. They get to Japan, they figure things out, and then they kind of like, bright lights and whatnot. Woo! They have a great time. And then there's this moment when they're like, wait, now what? You know, once the initial bah of the whole thing wears off, and you remember that you're here to do this thing, you have this moment of, oh my God, what do I actually do?
Right.
So you need to think about these things before you arrive, right? So already before I got here, keep in mind I already had this experience in Hong Kong, moving to Hong Kong and becoming a stuntman and everything. So I already sort of knew what I was doing in this department. But it meant that I turned up and I had, all right, well, these are the people I'm going to try and contact with my stuff. I'm going to need other people in supporting kind of positions of these kinds of things. And I need to get those resources together. And I need to keep my eye on the prize and remember the goal that I'm trying to achieve and keep pushing towards that. Yeah, it's challenging as well, because you turn up and you've got whatever visa you've got. Hopefully it's one that allows you to do whatever you're trying to do, but you'll have a time limit on that visa. And you've also, in my case anyway, I only had a certain number of dollars in the bank. So therefore it really was every day I'm burning 1 day off the amount of time I'm allowed to stay here before I figure something out. And every day I'm burning out my funds that allow me to stay here. So therefore it really was, okay, so I've got 60 days and I need to get something happening. And if I don't get something happening within 60 days, I have to go home. So once, when that kind of thing happens, that'll light a fire under your ass and you'll turn up and you'll be like, okay, well, we've got to get this thing going on then,
Yeah.
I think all three of us have encountered that.
Really?
Audrey, yourself, and I think we all had something like that.
Tell me about yours, Harada, because I don't know how you came into being where you are now.
Actually, I was in acting as well and stuff, and then I fell in love with animation. But then through that, it's a long story, but I would give cliff notes. And then, through that, I became actually into marketing. And actually, a previous company, Audrey already knows all this, and I had to play it cool. So, a company I was working at previously by a hero of mine, Marcus Leto, he created the Halo universe. So he created the Halo games. He had a studio, but that was going down. But I was trying to save it, and all while doing that. Once we found out, this company's going down, I literally had only a few days to find a new job. And I didn't want to panic, and I didn't share it on social or anything like that. And then I was able to actually, within a month, I was able to finally find a company that I really, really love, which, they're in Texas, and, I'll be going back and forth in Texas to, Seattle. But I had to figure all that out while, dealing with my family and everything like that. And that can be hard, but rather than complain about it, you just do it. One of my life philosophies is that, and you might like this, is that people don't really remember the pilots that just go through the blue skies. They remember all the pilots who brave the storms, because it's actually the storm. So whenever you have a storm, that's actually the opportunity for you to be remembered. So whenever I'm actually challenged, I'm like, oh no, if I do this, it's high risk, high reward. Is what I'm about to say. But yes, so I think that though Audrey also had to do something, she had to make her own company, in 2016, and it's my favorite company, and and I support Audrey in all honesty. But yeah, so we all had to figure out and survive. But I think those moments are what shapes us to be better people.
I think so too. They're character building, aren't they?
Yes.
It separates who's gonna go and break down, and who's gonna be like, all right, let's figure this out somehow.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, for me,
I'm sorry.
I didn't really have any major moment, but it's just kind of what I was doing in the past. I was working for a startup company, and I was doing their marketing managing. So I was managing their YouTube and doing their social media or whatever, but I was also doing stuff on the side, like blogging and helping people get items in Japan. And so it got to the point where I was like, well, I can't work full time anymore because I have no life if I do. So what should I do? And then my one of my coworkers was like, oh, maybe you should go check out our company's lawyer and ask them what they think. And I was like, sure. So I went to talk to the lawyer, and then the lawyer was like, well, you have couple options, and some of it you could either get married right now and stay in Japan if you don't want to work full time. And I was like, I don't want to get married right now. And then they're like, oh, then why don't you just start a company? And I was like, oh, what do I need to do? And then they told me what I needed to do to start a company, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. So yeah,
very impressive. It's not easy to do.
It sounds very easy, but that's because Audrey is just very proactive.
No,
it's easy for
I was
her
just
and for a lot of other.
Yeah, because for me, I was not I don't want to get married because, I was, my partner, we've been together for a long time, but I just was it's so strange to just get married for the visa, just to stay in Japan like that. I don't feel fulfilled by doing that. So I was like, I'm just going to do the other option and make a company.
Is your partner Japanese?
Yeah, he's Japanese. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so
oh, that's interesting. Okay, right. So you legitimately had the option to get married.
Yeah, but at that time, this was in 2015, and then I was like, we were planning eventually, he's my fiance, but he's yeah, we're planning to get married, but I don't want to get married just to stay in Japan. That sounds doesn't leave a good
it's not romantic, is it? It's not very romantic.
Oh yeah, more so than that, it's just more even if I do get married, there's still restrictions on how much you can work and so forth. So I was like, why don't I just make a company? Yeah, and then the lawyer was like, oh yeah, if you want to make a company, we can tell you what to do and support you throughout the process. So I was like, awesome. So my visa, my visa is the business manager visa. So I was able to get 3 years renewed 3 years each time. So it's yeah, pretty easy, I guess. You just have to do
Good
it.
job. Good
Yeah, you just
job.
have to do it.
So impressed. Good
Nike.
job. God. She said that like it's so straightforward. Is that I just started a business, I'm a business manager.
I mean, for me, like, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just like I had to do it. So you just like Kotomi said, like you just if you want to do something, you just chosen you just do it. Yeah.
なんか、Kotomi.
But anyway, going back to Babybeard, we have a couple more questions.
Okay.
A couple more questions about yeah, like your band and also the music. So first thing is like I don't think we asked this yet to Suzu and Kotomi, but what made them interested in joining Babybeard? So Babybeard に加入したきっかけは何でしょうか？
はい、私は前もアイドル活動してたんですけど、ちょっと活動できなくなってしまって、まだアイドルの夢を諦めきれずにオーディションを探してたら見つけて、わって思って受けました。
Awesome. So for Kotomi, she was actually in a idol group before, but yeah, for some reasons they had to stop their their idol group. And during that time, she saw an audition for Babybeard, and when she saw it, she was like, "Oh, I need to do it. I want to do it." So then she applied, and then yeah, definitely when she saw the audition, though, she was like, "Yes, I can do it." Suzu さんの方は何でしょうか？
はい、私も、サイトでオーディションを見かけて、ワールドワイドの活躍をするっていうのが、ワールドワイド、いいなって行こうと思って、でした。
ワールドワイドスズですね。世界のスズね。
ワールドワイド。
Yeah, Suzu saw the audition as well, and the audition said specifically that you can go worldwide. It's like a multicultural experience, so she thought it would be definitely like something like life changing. So she's like, oh, that would be awesome to go abroad.
Like the army. This is exactly the same as the army in every way. なんか、はい、Kotomi、私たちの衣装をちょっと説明してくださいね。
はい。これはそれぞれ今メンバーカラーが入っていて、カップケーキを購入してて、この前ちょうど争ったばっかりなんだよね。何味の
まだ洗ってないですか？
争って、ちょっとチョコミント奪われちゃったので、
私がチョコミントで、
ピアちゃんがイチゴで、私なんだったっけ？ブルーベリーだ。
ブルー
ベリー味になりました。
おー、すごいです。So, you can, yeah, どうぞ。Ladybeard, you can.
I'll let you do most of the translation. I just want to preface this. Just FYI, what we're currently discussing is our stage costumes that you can see us in right now. We're actually modeled on cupcakes. And I thought nothing is a better sentence to follow. This is just like the army with an we're modeled on cupcakes. Audrey, please take it away with the translation.
Oh, I mean, すみません、鈴の方がチョコミントですか？
はい、私チョコミント
ですよね。
The color's green, you see.
I see. So, yeah, they modeled their costumes after like food, I suppose, cupcakes. So Suzu is a chocolate mint theme, and Ladybeard is strawberry, and Kotomi is blueberry.
I actually don't want to be strawberry. It's not my favorite of the pink-colored berry selection. I'm thinking potentially raspberry. I might be more a fan of mulberry. Perhaps the boysenberry. Is the boysenberry still pink?
I'm not sure what boysenberry.
Oh, really? There's no boysenberries in America? Really?
No, I'm not
Say
sure.
it differently.
What kind of, is it like a raspberry?
I think it's sort of a dark purple looking. It's like a raspberry, but dark purple. Boysenberry. Boysenberry. 日本語で何という? No one knows boysenberry. I'm alone in my boysenberries. What am I gonna do? All right, we'll go with raspberry. Yeah, that makes sense because the raspberries are hairy as well, so that's similar to me. So we'll go with raspberry. That's perfect. So 皆様ラズベリーね。いちごじゃないラズベリー。ラズベリーね。ごめん、いちごになりたくない。ごめん。ラズベリービアードください。 Yeah.
So yeah, raspberry. No, just now I realized like Kotomi said that they're like representing different fruits, right? But I misheard and I thought that she said you guys haven't washed it yet.
Oh no, we've washed many times. Washed daily.
Perfect.
Like that.
I know that we're under a little bit of a time, so
Right.
with this, no worries. We have only 2 more questions. It's all good, and then
Okay.
after that, I definitely want to leave some room to for the audience, to read some of the audience questions. So with that in mind, I'll ask the next question, and then Audrey, if you'd like to ask the
Sure.
last one, then we can just go right to the
audience.
community questions. But yes, so basically, one of the main other question is like, when will you be debuting? Sorry, English right now, right? So
Right. I hear you.
Nippon kara konnichiwa.
Nippon kara konnichiwa! Yes, that is the first song from BABYBEARD. Nippon kara konnichiwa. If you have not heard it, you need to go down to the Spotify and the Apple Music and the Amazon Zone and the places where you do the streaming, and you need to go stream it right now. Suzu-chan, Nippon kara konnichiwa, ちょっと説明してください。
はい、日本からこんにちはは、英語で言うハローの意味を持つ日本語のこんにちはに乗せて私たちの元気とかハッピーパワーを世界中にお届けするような歌になっています。
That's right, I'll fill this one, Audrey. So, our song Nippon kara konnichiwa literally means hello from Japan. What we're trying to do is trying to send as much love and good vibes and happy, powerful energy out to you right now through the magic of the internet, since we can't physically get together. So we're sending all our love and all our genkiness straight to you through the airwaves. Please receive it. And our second song is called Pianizer. Kotomi, Pianizer, ちょっと説明してください。
はい。ピアナイザーは今日本で流行ってるピエンっていう悲しい時とか辛い時に使う言葉があるんですけど、その悲しいこと辛いことがあっても明日は明日の風が吹くっていうすごいポジティブな曲なので、ぜひ皆さんピエンっていう時にたくさん聴いて元気を出してください。
Yeah, so our second song is called Pianizer. Pien is a word currently used with great fervor by the youth of Japan. Pien is actually the name of that emoji that has the huge eyes and which is about to cry. So what happens is, when something slightly sad happens, the youth of Japan will say, oh, Pien. So, for instance, if you're gonna eat your ice cream cone and as you lick it, it tumbles off the cone onto the floor, that's a real moment to say, Pien! Right? If you hang out the laundry and then it starts raining, that's the perfect opportunity to say, Pien! Pien is a wonderful word, but it's important to remember that tomorrow is a new day. So when sad things happen, don't get too stressed. You can keep fighting. Tomorrow's a new day. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar. Hey! Nippon kara konnichiwa and Pianizer by BABYBEARD. Go stream them immediately after this. Thanks.
So, I guess the last question before we open it to the audience is the platforms that we can listen to BABYBEARD. You mentioned just now it's Spotify, iTunes, and
or Apple Music. We have short versions of the songs on YouTube, but the full version's not there, so you gotta go stream them. All the various other places where you stream your songs commonly, those places. Go there. Listen, at this moment, we don't have music videos online because due to a state of emergency, it's kind of difficult to shoot a music video at this moment.
Right.
But the songs are up, so please go and stream our songs with great fervor. I was going to say abundance, then I realized that was not the appropriate word. Stream our songs with great fervor. And please go to our social media and follow us on social media too. The Twitty, the Instagrammy, the Facebooky, the TikToky, the YouTubey. Please get involved. Do all the subscribing and bells and all of that. And you'll see all the internet love that we're bringing you as much as we possibly can up until the moment we can physically get together, meet you. Hey, by the way, we have just started learning the dances for our songs. So soon you're going to see dance stuff for the songs up on the old video screens. And if you're not down with that, you can just get out.
I feel the passion.
Yeah, man.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Awesome. So yeah, we have your BABYBEARD like little graphic in our overlay, and if you guys want to follow BABYBEARD, it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. It's all BABYBEARD _ Japan. So you guys can follow them.
Japan.
Yeah,
Baby
follow them.
beard. One word, as in baby that has beard. Or babies plus Ladybeard _ Japan. Put that into the machines. The machines will show you us. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
I guess right now we can open it to the audience then.
Yeah.
So I'm going
Anada,
to the
you have
chat.
any questions?
たくさんの質問聞こう。Yosh! What's going on, chat friends? Who's in the
Sure.
chat? My
So we
old
have
friend
a few questions.
Dan. Is Dan in the chat? What about Stephanie? Dan and Stephanie, who's in the chat today? Sorry, I'm totally not letting you talk. Go
No,
on.
you're good. You're good. I'm just like, yeah, who are? Yeah. This was earlier on, but you know, they're still in the chat. But like, one of the questions is, do you have any merchandise yet?
Do we have any merchandise yet? No. At this moment, no. But you can go to ladybeard.com and there's a shop attached to that. And that's where you'll find merchandise in the future. If my manager gives me a look that confirms that. It's under maintenance right now.
Please be excited.
Ladybeard.com has a shop attached to it, which is currently down because technology. But that's where you'll find the things. So please check that out.
Ladybeard.com.
Yes, ladybeard.com. So we're Babybeard, but I'm Ladybeard. So go to my site for the merch.
Right.
Hey, thank you for that question, Stephanie. I'm just assuming Stephanie asked it. Thank you, Stephanie.
And then this person's name or screen name is Don Psycho 91 asked, and just, you know, for any of you three, but do any of you know how to speak Spanish?
Oh! Español できますか? Oh!
Oh, すごいです。
Oh!
Soy Suzu.
Soy Ladybeard. Somos, say no, Babybeard des! Hey! Gracias!
Gracias.
Gracias! That's the extent of our Spanish.
Perfect. No, it's perfect. Bien.
And I can say cantar, bailar, destruir. Those are the 3 things I do.
destroy.
Which is sing, dance, destroy in English.
So I can't pronounce this. Uncleshen 33 asked, Babybeard, is there any way for fans to send autograph requests?
Autograph requests. Please follow our social media.
Oh.
And then, and that's where you'll see all the news about where you can do things such as get merchandise and request autographs. All on the social media. You'll notice that look off camera is important because I personally don't know the answer.
And good to know. And then actually from Simply Two, who, by the way, hi, they're 2 amazing people, influencers. Really love them. Actually met them at BlizzCon before. They made a great comment that simply said, and you might like this, Ladybeard, which is family. That is what lies in store with heavy metal. So
I would agree with that.
So
yeah, no, metal is actually a big old friendly community, and that surprises everyone because we all look like psychopaths. But metalheads are very friendly people. You should, hey, let's start a campaign called Hug a Metalhead. Maybe not right now while there's a pandemic. Post-pandemic, let's start a campaign. Hug a Metalhead. Just a random one. Just walk up to a dirty guy wearing a Pantera shirt and hug him and see how he responds. Maybe don't do that. That's maybe a bad plan. Hey, don't hug a Metalhead. That's a new campaign. Thank you, friends, for question.
what a great journey we just had just now.
Right?
The whole top was, I loved it. So, and I love the, so Crystal's asking, so this kind of fits with the theme of our previous 2 episodes, and it's totally cool if you haven't, no worries, but for Ladybeard or for, you know, our lovely 2 other guests here, have any of you enjoyed Final Fantasy VII Remake, the game?
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes.
Or is that the Japanese title as well? Final Fantasy VII Remake. 知ってる? やったことありますか? Remake.
I think that answers our questions. No worries.
Of course, since none of us know how to play it, the answer is the answer is revealed.
But Inconsistent Gamer is actually asking, what are the TikTok accounts so we can follow? So what are
Aha!
your TikTok accounts?
Thank you very much. BABYBEARD_Japan on the TikTok. And then if you want, you can follow our individual accounts as well. So I am Ladybeard_Japan. Kotomi no TikTok はKotomi Hinata じゃない？
ことみ、あ、違う、2000101010。
ちょっと待って！Kotomi has made hers as difficult as it possibly can be to follow. Kotomi's is 200010100.00. Kotomi, why is it so...
birthday.
Oh, I
My
understood.
birthday.
Understood. Naruhodo. It's a date. It's a date! She made it a date. Makes sense if it's a date. I don't know how we're going to delay that information more efficiently.
Wait, so sorry. This is TikTok. It's Kotomi 200101010.
20001010です。
.00.
Kotomi 210.
2000年、
2000はい1
2000に10月10日、2000年10月10日生まれなんですよ。
10
Ah.
月10日なるほどです。ドットはどの辺ですか？
誕生日の後です。
She was born on the 0th day of the 0th month.
今すぐことみひなたに変えます。
It's always existed.
すごいです。
大変。大丈夫？ No, I can't. Not allowed to do that. You can search Kotomi Hinata and she should come up. And then Suzu's is
SZ8BB.
SZ8BB.
This is
And
TikTok.
for America, Z is Z. So,
Say again?
oh no, for America, because Z, so Z.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. No worries. Z.
That's what it's Z. Yeah. In Australia, you know, in the Power Rangers, there was, you know, Captain Z.
Lord Z, yeah.
Yeah, Lord Z. Yeah. And then what the guys were they called? Z warriors, Z fighters, Z fighters?
Putties or something like that. Yeah.
Putties. That's right. That's like hit the Z on his chest. That's right. That's called a Z in my country. Gourmet.
Clearly, clearly we're already friends. There you go. We already know. So I was like, I've
Power
known
Rangers
about
trivia.
it for the longest time.
Nanka. Oh, Power Rangers してる？いや、パワーレンジャーしてる？なんかアメリカのカメラライダーっぽい。なんか、I don't think it's even worth explaining this. なんかアメリカの英語とオーストラリアの英語の問題、ちょっと説明した。そう、すいません。Who else is in the
Pop
chat?
culture.
Jeffrey?
Pop
so
culture.
Jeffrey's in the chat? What about Stan? Is Stan in the chat?
There's a few more questions. I know we only have 3 more minutes left to, I want to be respectful for your time. But,
Thank you.
with that in mind, though, a few questions or suggestions. One of them is, first off, like, will you be making a full album?
We freaking hope so, yes. We don't know when, but yes, please go to the social media and press all the follow buttons, and that's where you see all the news. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
And then other ones, another suggestion is, like, the ladies should start dropping elbows on you. So, like, maybe...
No, they shouldn't. That's going to end terribly for me. Why would we request that? comment wa, 二人はビアちゃんよくぶつけてもいい。いや、違う、もう痛いよ、やめて、痛いよ。Who made this suggestion? Go ahead.
なんだよね。
My enemies in the chat. ね、大変、かわいそう、ビアちゃん。ビアちゃん。
And then I guess another one was just more of, this one's for you, Ladybeard, but you were so much fun to watch wrestling. Do you ever think that you'll go back to wrestling and everything?
I mean, I still wrestle. Look, I mean, there's been no matches for like the past year or something due to the current world situation. But yeah, no, I'm still in the game. Hey, Ladybeard will be in the ring. Just you wait.
I can't wait. I'll actually be watching too. So
Oh, bless
that'll
you.
be
Thank
awesome.
you.
So those are the main questions, but like, since we only have 2 minutes left, do you have anything else you want to say or anything like that?
Well, we just want to say thank you all very much for your support. I'm just assuming that you're giving us support in the future. So if you do, thanks very much in advance for that. Please go to the social media. Please follow us on the social media. Please stream the songs, and we're going to bring you as much content as we can going forward. It's very hard to figure out a specific schedule of what we can deliver to you, considering the current world climate and the fact that we don't have any stability. But please go follow the social media, and that's where you'll see all the information about what we'll be bringing to you. We look forward to getting overseas and performing live for you ASAP. Kotomi!
はい。
お客さんにメッセージください。
はい。また会える日まで、直接会える日まで、ぜひ私たちの曲を聴いて、たくさん元気になってください。
Kotomi says, what?
はい。
Kotomi says, please go listen to our songs and get very, very happy and genki as a result of listening to our songs in abundance. Suzu は
はい。皆さんに会えるのを楽しみにしているので、私たちの歌をたくさん聴いて歌詞を完璧にしといてください。
Yeah, Suzu said, please listen greatly, listen much to the songs, remember the lyrics so that when we finally get to your town, you can sing along with us as we sing on stage. And I'd like to say, everybody, thank you for your ongoing support. We love you and we look forward to seeing you soon. Let's do a Jiko Shokai to take it out. Jiko Shokai!
ことみです。
すずです。
レディビアードです。私たちはせーの。
レディビアードです。
And thank you, Aitai Chat viewers, for tuning in today. We'll be back next time with another Aitai Chat with your hosts, Audrey and Hirata. Thank you, Audrey and Hirata-san, for your company today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Babybeard, for your energy.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Thank you so much. Kotomi-san, Suzumi-san, ありがとうございます。お疲
Thank
れ
you,
様
guys.
です。
今日楽しかった。ありがとうございます。
機会があれば、はい、ぜ
Everybody.
ひ。
See you in the future.
Thank you guys. So thank you for
I think that's
tuning
fun.
into Aitai Chat's episode 3 today. And I hope you guys enjoyed the energy that Babybeard brought. Definitely super, super energetic. I loved it. Thank you guys so much. And we will be back with episode 4 soon. So check out our social media as well. Be sure to follow us, follow Harada for, information, follow me for information about various fandoms. And check out aitaikuji.com if you want any anime video game merchandise. And without further ado, I guess that is it for today's episode.
Bye. Thank you for watching,
Thank you so
everybody. It was a
much.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, Babybeard.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank